Greetings, Interworld. We're back. I'm David with Invest Comics.
I'm Jared with Famous Faces.
And this is the first official episode of the Sandbox.
Ooh, Sandbox.
Even though technically we did get our name last episode, but we weren't aware of this until after the fact. But hey, we're here now. Sandbox, enjoy.
Hey. Be forewarned, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep.
So
I'm probably going to be slightly incoherent.
A bit more cranky than usual.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start off this episode with Lego Harry Potter years 5 through 7. This is the second of the Lego Harry Potter games. It's following the movie storyline as opposed to the book storyline, so it's still broken up into 4 episodes like the previous one was, because as I said, it was following the movie storyline, so they did do year 7 as 2 parts.
Interesting.
It's a Lego game. Traveler's Tales, you make fantastic games. I love your games. I enjoyed it. My only sort of gripe with this one was, unlike in the first Lego Harry Potter, you weren't able to explore as much of the castle as you were, but that was kind of a... I'm going to chalk that one up to story, because there wasn't really as much of a reason to go exploring around and like all of the different houses for the different for Slytherin and Hufflepuff and all of them, and you couldn't go into Dumbledore's office, which that I found a little weird, because you end up there multiple times throughout the game for either cutscenes or you have to go there to finish up a mission or something, but you couldn't access it in this game, and that was just very strange to me.
Fairly typical Lego game. Lots of humor. It takes everything from the movies, turns it very tongue-in-cheek. Graphics are standard, same as basically the rest of the Lego games, which for what it is works very well. Sound effects, music, all very good. And gameplay. For some reason, I'd forgotten the targeting system from Lego Batman, but obviously it gets used much more extensively in this game, so...
Yeah, so you can basically target just about every single spell that you can sling in this game, which that's really a good thing.
Yeah.
And new spells in this one, which that was really cool, some really fun new ones. Really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a Lego game. Again, Traveler's Tales. I love your stuff. You have yet to fail me.
Yeah, good game.
Okay. Alright, and now, to celebrate the fact that Jared's PlayStation is actually working again, yay! This is the first PS3 one he'll actually be able to chime in on.
Yay.
We have Ratchet and Clank All for One. Now, this one is a bit of a departure from the Ratchet and Clank franchise. It's still a 3D action platformer, but this one is set up to be played by 4 people all at one time. One of you plays as Ratchet, one of you plays as Clank, the other one plays as Captain Quark, and a 4th person plays as Dr. Nefarious. And if you're wondering why this odd little team up, they're all captured by this entity called the Collector to be put in his giant galactic collection, and they have to work together to get out. Otherwise, none of them are getting out. It's it still has the... It doesn't have as large of an arsenal as the Ratchet and Clank games are usually known for, but it still has a fairly extensive one considering. It's a bit strange because unlike in the other games where you're just, it's like, oh, I might pick this one up here, or I'm gonna get to this new planet and they're gonna have this for sale. They just progressively unlock as you go, because you're on this one planet the entire time. It's just a very large area that's made up of different sort of habitats that have been pilfered from around the universe to accommodate all of the different species this entity has been collecting and storing. It's fun. I like it. Jared?
This being my first exposure to a Ratchet and Clank game, I can't compare it to the others. I thought it was alright. It really felt like just a very basic platformer to me. Nothing about it really stood out. The characters are interesting. The humor during the cutscenes is good. Made me chuckle a couple times, but a lot of that dries up during the actual playthrough of the levels. Overall, it handles well. Controls are good and tight. Again, music and everything's well done. Graphics are really good. Interesting story, but just the playthrough just didn't have anything stand out for me.
It's as you said. The humor it's there. It's good. It's not really as high. It's not up to the same standards that it usually is for a Ratchet and Clank game. But we can just kind of chalk that up to the fact that it's a lower rating than they usually go with, just because it's designed for 4 people, so they're trying to appeal to a broader audience. But still, it's Ratchet and Clank. It's not bad. There's definitely been better. But if you can find it cheap, go for it. Have fun. Enjoy it. Grab 3 friends. Go nuts. And now, last on our episode, which
Our tiniest game review ever.
you may or may not actually be able to see. This is going to be our first handheld review for the 3DS. This is Super Mario 3D Land, and hopefully Jay will be able to help us and find a nice big
That's a
graphic
picture right
for
there.
the screen, or to smack you later. This is basically the killer app that the 3DS was looking for. It's Mario goodness, just like Nintendo has always relied on. Hey, the plumber comes to save our bacon from the fire. It's really good. It's Mario 3D platforming goodness. It's a lot like the 64 Mario. Not as revolutionary as far as introducing new ideas and whatnot, but it's very solid controls, very good platforming, and it's one of the only games that makes extremely good use of the 3D technology from the handheld system itself. It's really good depth perception, and when you have it on, depending on your view and just the way the levels are set up, you'll actually get more out of the 3D just because of, hey, I'm going to take and move, there's these binoculars that they have that you can look at through in certain levels where you can see the endpoint. When you're looking through them, you're actually moving the system around using its gyro sensor, and as you're moving around, you actually really do get a benefit from the 3D, because you can get a good feel for how far away or how far down something is.
I just had a chance to play around with the first couple of mini levels, but it was actually a lot of fun. It really felt like a throwback to Super Mario 64, with some of the cooler elements from some of the old school games. The Tokidoki suit, or not Tokidoki, Tanuki suit, the being able to throw fireballs, which I don't remember at all from Mario 64.
No, they didn't have that in
Yeah.
64, but an old classic goody power nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they brought back a lot of the old school stuff and then just kind of tossed that in a blender with Super Mario 64, and it's a really good result that came out of it.
And, I mean, one of the more interesting things about it is just one of the core mechanics that they kind of threw at you, just because the storyline is, like in the new Mario Brothers, there was a storm and, a bunch of the power-ups got blown to the winds. Well, there was a leaf tree in the Mushroom Kingdom that had all the Tanuki leaves on it. They get blown to the winds, and Bowser takes advantage of the storm, snatches Princess Peach again, and he comes across the leaves and is like, wait a minute, why don't I use Mario's power against him for a change? And he starts handing out the leaves to every one of his...
So you fight a bunch of Tanuki villains, which is
It's really cool. It's a fun little twist. I mean, there's even parts where Bowser himself will show up with the Tanuki tail.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone gets Tanuki powers. It's fun. Alrighty.
And that's it for today.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.